Hey guys, what's up? Good morning. Joe, your buddy, the coffee, and cheers. Oh yeah, actually, another swig. Alright, let's do this shit. Alright, so for this video, what I want to teach you guys is basically using an audio from like a handheld camera, right? Now, usually when we film Paul's videos, he always has a lavalier mic, right? Usually lavalier mics, they come out as mono. Now here's an audio file from like Paul's lavalier mic, right? So as you can see here, as when I say mono, there's only one audio wave, right? But with Paul's camera, we have two audio waves, right? Now here, this situation is different because Paul didn't have his lavalier mic. He was just speaking directly towards the camera, right? So what I'm working with here is the audio directly recorded from the camera itself. Now, there's two things you got to keep in mind when you're working with audio from the camera. Now, if you can look, I gotta maximize this. Now, look at the waveform files from like, this is like the camera, right? And look at the lavalier mic. Now, we see in like the lavalier mic, you have like a lot of dynamic range going on. So you have a lot of spikes and a lot of lows, right? It goes up, down, right? With the audio from the camera itself, it's almost like straight, right? Basically, the camera itself is creating its own compression. It's built into the camera to normalize everything, right? It's good in a sense because it already did some work for me in the sense of like, you know, adjusting like the audio levels, you know, doing a little bit of compression or whatever. But that also introduces some little problems in the sense of like adding noise and stuff like that we don't want. So what I'm going to show you is basically how to work with this file and clean up the audio a little bit. That way it doesn't like sound terrible when like you do your final render of the video, right? All right, so first of all, most of all, usually what I do with like these types of audio files, the camera itself has built in two mics almost, right? It has a left mic and a right mic. So when we speak to it, as we're recording two separate audio files, right? Okay, so I'm gonna play this back and you're gonna, hopefully you have headphones on, you'll be able to hear the difference, right? Usually, because there's two separate audio tracks that got recorded, both the left and the right tracks sound completely different, right? Not extremely different, but they are different, right? So the cool thing about that is basically you have an option of which track to use because we're gonna create this in a mono so it can sound better when you want to do a final render of the video, right? So this is Paul in his garage.
Because I am initiating a project.
Now keep an eye on like the levels here on my audio meter. You're gonna see usually, that's another thing. Usually the left track is a little bit higher than the right track, right? I'm not sure if like that's done on purpose through the camera itself, right? But for the most time, usually like the left track is a lot higher than like the right track. Also like the left track, there's more like higher frequency information, so it sounds more higher pitched than the right audio track. There's more muffled out, so it's not as like sharp as the left track, right? So keep an eye on this, the levels here.
Doing like a soft launch of a project that I keep talking about, and I'm never going to move forward with it unless I just get going. The plus side is,
so that's him in the garage, and then he moves into his living room, and there's more echo there.
To shoot this video for this week because my schedule's weird and stuff like that. So other things that are happening.
Okay, like I said, like the left track are usually higher, right? So the first thing I do is I gotta decide which track do I want to use, right? If I want to use the left track and move that over to like the right track, creating a, you know, almost like a mono file, or use like the right track and move that over to like the left track, right? So I'm gonna right click, go to audio channels. And as you can see here, we got the media source. You got the left and right. So we're gonna start with the left and hear that. All right, so I'm gonna click here from like the right channel to share the information from like the left stereo side of the recording.
At the same time though, it is Wednesday.
Now as you can see here, because they're sharing the same information, now both tracks are gonna be equal, right? There's no like difference between like the left and the right track.
And I basically have today to shoot this video for this week because my schedule's weird and stuff like that. So other things that are happening.
All right, keep in mind, listen to like how crisp it sounds, right? Like how high pitch it is.
And I basically have today to shoot this video for this week because my schedule's weird and stuff like that.
All right, now let's try the right track. So right click, audio channels. I'm gonna click the right channel here. So now both the left and right stereo, the ears or whatever you want to call it, they're all sharing the information from like the right track.
Same time though, it is Wednesday and I basically have today to shoot this video for this week because my schedule's weird and stuff like that. So
All right, just so you guys can hear the difference, I'm gonna like duplicate this track here, right? So the top one here is only sharing the information from like the right track, and the bottom one here, I'm gonna set it up to use like the left audio channel, right? So deselect that for now. So this is me converting the audio track to a mono by using like the right audio track information.
Today to shoot this video for this week because my schedule's weird and stuff like that. So other things that are happening today are our air conditioner, and I basically have today to shoot this video for this week because my schedule's weird and stuff like that. So other things that are happening today are time though, it is Wednesday, and I basically have today to shoot this video for this week because my schedule's weird and stuff like that. So I basically have today to shoot this video for this week because my schedule's weird and stuff like that. So
okay, so as you can see here, like I said, like the left audio track, it usually is a little bit more higher frequency range, so it's a lot more sharper, right, to the ear. For the most part, depending on the situation, I usually do use the left track more often, right? Mainly because it has that higher pitch information. But in this case, because he's in his living room, you see a lot of you can hear a lot of echo. So I want to be able to reduce that excessive noise because once I start adding more compression to my final mix, all that information, if it sounds uneasy as it is right now, it's just gonna get worse, right? So for this clip in particular, we're gonna go with like the right audio source, right? So hit okay.
it is Wednesday, and I basically have today to shoot this video for this week because my schedule's weird and stuff like that. So other things that are happening today are...
Alright, so there you go. So basically that's something that you can keep in mind when you're working with audio that comes from like the camera itself, or if you have like a handheld recorder or something that records audio in stereo, right? So you have a choice to which audio track you can use and convert it to a mono file, right? Now I usually do it in this manner. I do not like leaving like the footage with a stereo sound because it's just way too distracting in my opinion. You know, you have information coming from the left ear, then the right, so on and so forth. In certain situations you may want that, but for me in the video, I just do not like the sound of it. It's just too distracting for me.
So you said extra large?
Yeah, I'll take one.
I do large usually.
Which designs? You got one of you can whatever you want.
I like this one.
I'll take this guy. Like I see there, there's too much information jumping all around, right? Paul is talking in the left ear, me talking in the right, and our friend here is talking like almost in the distance, right? So just that's why it's preferred. Like I could just either pick one or the other. I'm gonna pick the left one in this case.
CRT retro PC thing going on.
Nice. And all the call outs of the different
sweet.
features and everything. Beautiful.
So you said extra large?
Yeah, I'll take one.
I do large usually.
Which designs? You
Yeah, see that, so it sounds more appealing to the ear instead of being all over the place, right? You know, you got information coming from the left ear, then the right ear, so it's too much, right? So it's better to have everything set to mono when you do like the final render of your video, right? So yeah, that's basically it for this video. Thanks for watching, really appreciate it. If you find the video helpful, there'll be some QR codes over here if you guys want to buy me a coffee or something. If you guys can, no problem. I'm still gonna continue sharing what I know, you know, because I like sharing what I know. And but definitely leave a comment or a like, or, you know, give me a question if there's something I can help you with, right? So yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, all right? Take care and peace.